Hi again. Welcome to I believe, the seventh part of the money and interest rate lecture. And in this part, basically, in the last part, I have talk on the way banks are creating money. Uh, and in this part, I will introduce you to the money multiplying process, and then maybe I will present you a model for the financial markets in the economic system, or money market for money in the economic system. I hope the basic function of the basic way how banks are creating money is clear. The main point is when people have in their possession the paper money they bring, and when they bring that paper money to the bank, the money, the deposits they have inside of the bank representing that paper money will act as money. We can use it to buy and sell things. But banks, after they got that paper money, they will lend part of this paper money, in this case 90% of it, to other people. But when they lend it to the other people, our initial money representing this whole paper money is still acting like money. The $100,000 is still acting like money. But since 90% of this paper is given to other people, this 90%, $90,000 is also acting like a money. So now out of $100,000, we have $100,000 as deposits acting like money, and $90,000 as the paper money acting like money. This $90,000 itself is put back to the bank. Now the deposits will become $190,000, since people who have this paper money as loans might also put the money they own, they have the money in their disposal, they can put it to the bank, or they can spend that money and the people earn that money can put the money into the bank. Um, Now the bank has this $90,000 back, initial $100,000, although the deposits are with the value of $190,000. But out of this $90,000, they will also put only an amount which is equal to 10% of the deposits. Now the deposits are $190,000, so the 10% is not on anymore 10,000, but the 10% of the 190,000 is 19,000. So they will lend an additional $81,000. They will send $81,000 money back to the economic system. So they will keep 10% of this 190,000, since the amount of deposits in the bank has have risen. So from this additional $90,000, they got, in addition to $10,000 which was in their reserves, they are putting 10%, $90,000 into the reserve and sending $81,000 back to the economy as paper money. Now, when we calculate the money supply, we got the deposits, which is $190,000, plus the money in circulation, that is $81,000. So our money supply has increased to $271,000. Now, this money might also be spent by the people who borrowed it, and then the new earners might also put the money into the deposits. And again, part of it will go to the reserves, part of it will go to the loans, and the money creation process will continue. So, what will be the result of this money creation process? That might be the question you might ask. Um, so how much money will be in the end be in reserves, will be lent as loans, and be represented, will be part of the, will be the deposits. How much will be the worth of the deposits, reserves, and loans, and in the end, what will be the amount? Note that in this very simple case, we assume uh, everyone is holding their money in the banks. That's not always necessarily the case. If everyone is not holding the money in their banks, in that case, basically, at every stage, we will have some money that is some of the money that is earned by the people will be held in the pockets of the people. So, say as money in circulation. Well, you can easily think about how to modify this model for this case. In this course, however, we don't do that. In this course, we assume everyone is holding their money in the banks. And mostly in today's world, this is the case. So I think this is not a very big deviation from the real economic reality. So again, according to this assumption, assuming everyone is holding their money in the banks, and you can think about what happens if it is the other way around, and even discuss with me that possibility if you are really interested on that. So if initially the banks have $100,000, in that case, after this $100,000 is given to the bank, 10% will be held in the reserves, and the and 10% of this money will be 90% of this money, 1 minus 0.1, will be lent to the other people. I mean, to the people who want to borrow money from the bank. So that will be now the money in circulation. So this will be an addition to the money supply. But after this initial addition, the people will spend the money. That 100,000 times 0.9 amount unit of money will be get back to the bank, as we have seen. And when that money come back to the bank, which is 100,000 times 1 minus 0.1, the bank will have 0.1 of this additional money inside of its reserve and lend again 1 minus 0.1, 0.9% or 90% of this additional money to the people who want to borrow money from the bank. So now a new amount of money is added to the let's say to the economy, and this new amount is 100,000 times 1 minus 0.1 times 1 minus 0.1, or 1 minus 0.1 square. So then this money is again brought back to the bank. Let me copy it. And again, 10% of it will be held in reserve, 10% of it will be lent again. So, and again, go back to the economy. So there will be an increase in the money supply, which is equal to 100,000 times 1 minus 0.1 in parentheses over 3. So next time we will have the same expression, but with over 4. And it will go like this. So you have already seen this expression. If this is the case, we know that we can just summarize this in this way. This whole expression is equal to, let's raise this last so you can see the part better. 100,000 times 1 divided by 1 minus, in parentheses, 1 minus 0.1. So this is equal to 100,000 over 0.1, which is equal to 1 million. So let's just get this to the next line. Well, just see this case. So the total amount of money in the economic system, in the end, basically, when this whole process has ended, the total amount of money in the system will be $1 million. This $1 million, of course, I mean, since this process has ended, now the money in circulation will be completely zero. Everyone is holding their money in the banks. And out of this 1 million, 10% is held in reserves. So basically the amount of reserves will be $100,000 and amount of loans will be $900,000. So basically, remember that initially the whole amount of paper money in the economic system was $100,000. So now the all paper money, all fiat money is now in the bank reserves. They are not part of M money anymore. They are still base money. So in the end, the money, the paper money, as if you remember, always was returning back to the system. But as long as when it returns, the amount of reserves was more than 10% of the deposits, the bank was continuing to send part of that money into the system as loans because it just wanted to have 10% reserves. The bank will only stop lending money when the reserves are exactly 10% of the deposits. And as the system goes on, that amount will become, I mean, closer and closer to the 10% of the deposits. You can think about why throughout this money creation process, the reserves get closer and closer to the 10% of deposits. I'm leaving that part to you. If you are interested in math, that would be interesting question to ask. So, but in this case, since deposits are 100,000, the loans will be 900,000, which means actually certain people in the economic system, among the population, overall population and companies, basically, the amount of loans owed to the bank is $900,000. This is not money. This cannot act as money. This is just the money people need to pay back in the end after a certain period to the bank. However, the deposits people have in the bank, this $1 million, this is very much acting like money. So this has become the money in the economic system, $1 million. So in the end, this initial fiat money, $100,000, has been multiplied, increased to $1 million. So in a way, the fiat money, the money which is actually given to the economy by the central bank, is multiplied by the banking system. So we have a second multiplier in this case in the economy, which is called money multiplier. The previous one was spending multiplier. The initial spending was multiplied to become more and more spending. Now the money itself become multiplied and become more and more money. So initial base money become multiplied by 1 over 0.1. What was this 1.0.1? It was reserve ratio. So basically, well, we could change all the 0.1s with the reserve ratio easily. Well, this basically means that initial $100,000, the 1 minus reserve ratio amount of it will be sent back to the economic system, since the percentage representing reserve ratio will be held by the bank. And then 1 minus 0. Minus reserve ratios in parentheses squared will, from the money that comes back to the bank, this amount will come back to the bank. Again, the amount that is equal to 1 minus reserve ratio will be sent back to the economic system, and this process will continue again and again. I will talk more on this in the coming next part of the